This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video I will take a look back at the Breeders' Cup Classic and discuss what is next for the Classic and Dirt Mile runners. Now, Forever Young won the Classic, getting a 1:11 Beyer speed figure on Saturday, and he is going to return in 2026. Now, for Forever Young, he was able to work out a good trip. Contrary thinking, Sierra Leone's pacemaker was out there setting the pace as expected, and Forever Young from post 5 was able to track that pace, get the jump on Sierra Leone, have a 1.5 length lead in the stretch. Sierra Leone was coming after him, but he came up a half length short, and Forever Young paid $9 in this event. Now for Forever Young, his next races next year, the Saudi Cup, which he won earlier this year, and the Dubai World Cup, he finished third in that event earlier this year. Those are his early goals next year. Overall, he's 10 for 13 with 3 show finishes. Career earnings, $19,358,590. And we'll see if he comes back for the Breeders' Cup next year. If things go well earlier in the year, in that Saudi Cup and Dubai World Cup, I can see him coming back next fall to Keeneland for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Now, Sierra Leone, he has retired to Coolmore's Ashford Stud, and he ended his career with 14 starts, 5 wins, 6 runner-up finishes, and 3 show finishes. He was a 3-time Grade 1 winner, including the Breeders' Cup Classic in 2024, and his career earnings more than $8,196,200. So Sierra Leone, as a closer, typically was up against it, but he always showed up and ran his race. It didn't matter if he got not a lot of pace help. If he got pace help, if the track bias favored speed, it didn't matter. Sierra Leone always came with his run in the stretch, and he did again this year, just falling short of repeating in the Breeders' Cup Classic. The third place finisher in the Classic, Fierceness, has also retired to Ashford Stud. His career record, 14 starts, 7 wins, 2 seconds, and 2/3. He was the 2-year-old champion of 2023, and he won 4 Grade 1 races in his career and earned more than $5.7 million. Fourth place in the Classic was Journalism, and he was the highest finisher for the 3-year-olds, and a decision on his future will be made next week. And he's going to stand at Ashford Stud when his racing career is over. It's possible that he's run his last race. We'll have to see what they decide next week. But he did have an excellent 3-year-old season with 4 wins and 3 runner-up finishes from 8 starts, including Grade 1 wins in the Santa Anita Derby, the Preakness Stakes, and the Haskell. Mindframe was 5th in the Classic, and he retired to Claiborne Farm. He's a Maryland-bred son of Constitution, and he wrapped up his career with 5 wins and 2 runner-up finishes from 9 starts. He won 2 Grade 1 races in 2025, and his career earnings were more than $2 million. 6th place in the Classic was Baeza, and he will return next year for trainer John Sheriffs. Now, he raced 8 times this year with 7 top 3 finishes and a Grade 1 victory in the Pennsylvania Derby. So this 3-year-old, strong pedigree, he had a good year this year, and he could even be better next year. Another horse that could be better next year, Nevada Beach, 7th in the Classic, and he will return in 2026 for Bob Baffert. And he started his career in April of this year, so he definitely accomplished a lot in a short time frame. And he went 3 for 5 with a runner-up finish this year, and he did have a Grade 1 win versus older company in the Goodwood at Santa Anita Park at 1 1/8 prior to the Breeders' Cup Classic. In 8th place in the Classic, Antiquarian, he will return next year for trainer Todd Pletcher, and his big win this year was in the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup at 1 1/4 at Saratoga. So Antiquarian certainly has the stamina to hang in there and run quality races. He did get some help in that Jockey Club Gold Cup when Mindframe lost the rider and Sierra Leone had early trouble, but he ran well that day from the outside post. And Antiquarian's won next year. Wouldn't be surprised if he was running in these longer races. Maybe he's able to maintain form, get back into good form. Maybe he'll run in a race like the Jockey Club Gold Cup again and show up in the Breeders' Cup Classic at the end of the next year at Keeneland. Contrary Thinking was 9th and last in the Classic. No word on his future, but he was purchased earlier this year to perform pace-setting duties for his stablemate Sierra Leone, and he did his job in 3 Grade 1 routes. Sierra Leone was able to win the Whitney when Contrary Thinking set it up for him, In the Jockey Club Gold Cup, he did his job there. Sierra Leone was second. And then in the Breeders' Cup Classic, again, contrary thinking, did his job. He got out there, made sure the pace was honest, and Sierra Leone put in a good run in this Breeders' Cup Classic, but he just fell a half length short. Scratched from the Breeders' Cup Classic was Sovereignty, and a decision on his future will be made soon. Now, he's owned by Godolphin, so if he does run in 2026, he would probably target the Dubai World Cup at Meydan. Now, let's go over to the Dirt Mile now. And your Dirt Mile winner, Nysos, he might return in 2026. They're going to make that decision soon. Overall, in his career, he's 6 for 7 with a runner-up finish. And they wanted to run him in the Breeders' Cup Classic this year, but a foot bruise knocked him out of the Pacific Classic in August. That was supposed to be his prep for the Breeders' Cup Classic. So instead of running in that race, he didn't have any prep races, and he was just rerouted to the Dirt Mile, and he was able to win that race. And it was an exciting race with his stablemate Citizen Bull setting a fast pace, and he was stubborn in the stretch. And Nysos just got his nose down on the wire to win that event. So if Nysos does return in 2026, I'm sure they would like to stretch him out further in distance and try to win the Breeders' Cup Classic. Now, your Dirt Mile runner-up, Citizen Bull, has been retired to Ashford Stud. Seems like all the horses are going to Coolmore's Ashford Stud in Kentucky. And then your Dirt Mile show finisher, Chanter McPatrick, he is going to go to a different farm, Spendthrift Farm. He will stand at Spendthrift in 2026. Now, White Abarrio was scratched from the Dirt Mile, and his connections say that he will race again in 2026. Now, he won the Grade 1 Pegasus World Cup at Gulfstream earlier this year. Could definitely see him targeting that race again in January of 2026. He definitely loves the Gulfstream Park Oval. Most of his big career wins were at Gulfstream Park, although in 2023 he did win the Whitney at Saratoga and the Breeders' Cup Classic, but all of his other big wins at Gulfstream Park in his career. Now, if you're interested in my full card analysis, I'm covering the rest of the Del Mar Fall Meet from November 7th through 30th. So they're running 3 days a week. So they'll have 12 days left in their Fall Meet. You can go to the runawayhorse.com on my shop page for my upcoming full card schedule and to purchase my products. And I will include a link to my shop page in the video description below. I want to thank everybody for supporting my work, for purchasing my Breeders' Cup full cards, and then earlier this year, my Triple Crown Series full cards, and then my California full cards as well. I do full cards at Santa Anita in Del Mar each year. And then I also do some other tracks Saturdays from around the country from other racetracks. So again, if you're interested in my full cards, runawayhorse.com on my shop page. And keep checking my channel for daily handicapping videos, news videos, Oaks and Derby points race video series. I'm doing those Road to the Oaks and Derby 2026 points races. All those videos will be on my channel. And then the Today's Racing Digest video series, how to use Today's Racing Digest. And then finally, my Del Mar Horse of the Day video series. I do a short video from a play of the day from Del Mar each day. I did that beginning earlier on with the Del Mar Summer Meet. I did the Santa Anita Autumn Meet, and now I'm back doing these Horse of the Day videos for the Del Mar Fall Meet. And through the first 4 days of their Fall Meet, I definitely have a case of seconditis because I had my top choices finish second all 4 days. So we'll see if I can get some winners coming up next week and through the rest of the meet at Del Mar in my video shorts. And like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.